It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hi, welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your cook, Uncle Roy, and this is my lovely tired assistant, Miss Callie Allies. Callie, come here. Get in here for our tweet. Oh yeah, get in here and say hello, hello, hello to everybody. Oh, there she is. Yeah, Miss Callie Allies. Yeah, quench, quench, quench. Uncle Roy's on his scooter because I broke my leg. Or not my leg, my foot. I had a cast all the way up to here. Oh, stupid, stupid. I was out at one of the gardens, the one that I've been filming, and I was deadheading the petunias that are hanging on the rafters there by the pool there up above the bathrooms there, the gazebos. Anyway, I had the long heavy metal extension ladder, and I went up there, and it's on a 45-degree angle, and I'm laying there, chest down onto the ladder. And every time I go up that ladder, I shake it, I move it, I jiggle it, at least 3 times before I even attempted to go up there. And of course, this one time I did, I still checked it, and I'm up there laying there deadheaded, and the ladder slid out from underneath me. Down I went, chest face forward, all the way down to the ground. It was about a 10-foot drop. I could have killed myself easily. And my left foot got caught in the rung of the ladder as it was crashing down. And, well, pretend this is my leg and this is my foot. It was dislocated completely up like that, and then twisted all the way around backwards. It was just gross. Oh my Lord. I'm laying there just like, I don't even want to look at this. I was in such shock I couldn't even feel anything. Of course, I get to the ambulance, I get to the hospital, lots of drugs, still lots of drugs later. I still don't feel no pain, except now they put in 2 pins in the left and 2 screws on the right side towards the center of the foot. The pins hurt like an SOB. They are so painful. If I just touch the edge, the pins coming out on the side like this, they come up and out like that. So they're just on the edge here. If I just lightly touch it, I want to go right straight to the ceiling. It's quite painful. So they got me in lots of drugs. What is going on now? You be pale. Behave. Oh, Laney is out, the next door neighbor's dog. Oh, good. Here we go. Should be wound up now. So anyway, today we're going to do a stir-fried chicken and oyster sauce. And such a hot day out. We've been having this heat all summer long. It's like just crazy. But it's still hot out, and I don't want to heat up the oven is what the problem is on a hot day. So we're going to do a stir-fry. We're going to cook that on top of the stove. And I got my rice water boiling right now. In fact, it is boiling. And I put in 2 cups of water, and I'm going to put in 1 cup of rice. Comes to a boil, take that off, and dump in our rice. And this is so easy. I've taught you how to make rice a couple of times, in case you've forgotten. It's 2 to 1. Just give it a little stir so that all the rice kernels or grains are moistened. And we're going to do a little saffron. Now, of course, saffron is expensive as heck. Very, very expensive. But this is the Mexican saffron. So it's much, much cheaper. And what saffron is, it's the pistil of the lotus flower. It's just a little pistil in there, and they pick each one of those little pistils out of the tiny little lotus flowers. Boom, boom, boom. That's why it's so expensive, because it takes forever to pick it. But this is the Spanish version of saffron, and it's more mechanically reproduced and harvested and picked, so it's much cheaper. What it does, it gives a wonderful golden yellow color to your rice. It's going to make it more yellowish. And it gives it a nice little touch of flavor to it. You can also take and put in a little dash of chicken base if you want to, like about a teaspoon. And that's going to flavor up your rice very nicely. And we're going to turn this down to a low simmer. And set our timer for 20 minutes. And that'll give us perfect rice every single time. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's see, we're going to do the chicken. This is my boneless breast of chicken. And this just came out of the freezer, so it might be a little bit frozen, which is excellent because you want it to be a little bit frozen. You can slice it much nicer. You can get thinner slices if you want to. You can do that with your meat, any type of your meat for your stir fries. You want to slice them as thin as possible so that they cook up quicker and faster. So you don't have to have thick slices, otherwise it'd be cooking there forever and a day. That's why it's a stir fry, because you want to fry it and stir at the same time. If you have bigger chunks, it wouldn't be a stir fry, it'd be a pot fry. You know what I mean? You don't want it to cook forever. You want it to be done and out, in and out of there, just a few minutes. Possibly 3 to 5 minutes, depending upon how thick you cut it. You don't want to go longer than that. So you want to cut these very thin. Otherwise, your chicken's going to start to get really tough on you. And we don't want to have tough chicken, we want moist chicken, tender chicken. And that's a common mistake that everybody overcooks their meat when stir frying. And you don't have to, it's very simple, very easy, and very fast. The only problem in stir frying is cutting this up. That's what the preparation takes a long time. Okay, so that was the chicken. This is the celery. Cut off those ends because those get rather tough. And we'll put that in there, in the other bowl. My chicken's all done. That was just one stalk of celery. You can stir frying, you can do whatever you want, as much as you want. It depends on your taste, and it depends on how many people you're cooking for. Callie, I think Uncle Roy needs to put down some weight on his foot, on the heel. I've been on that stool all day long. Oh my Lord. My knee is killing me and my leg's killing me. There's like no circulation going on in there. And let's see, let's just do about 1/4 of a medium-sized onion. And with the onion, I'm going to cut this. Look at her. Oh, oh. Sniff, sniff, sniffs. Oh, 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 oh. Don't knock me over. And I'm going to cut these about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch wide strips. And these are just going to be broken up. We got individual little slices so that gets all stir fried together. I mean, you want to break these apart. You just don't want to have the big chunks in there. Otherwise, they won't fry up. And we don't want to have sauteed, we don't want to have fried onions. We want them sauteed more softer. Okay, that's an onion. And then we'll do about 1/2 of red and green pepper. And with the red peppers, these are already rinsed off. I got them rinsed off, but you want to strip out the membrane and the seeds. And just pull that right out, and the membrane is this white pith coming down the sides. Rip off all that whiteness. That's the membrane. We don't want to have that. See all this white part here and on here? That's the part we don't want. And what that is, it's just a more fibrous, tougher part of the vegetable. You know, you get caught in your teeth and you get the strings. Ooh. It's not that great. But this here we're going to cut into approximately 1/2 to 1 inch size cubes. The smaller you cut them, the quicker it's going to heat up. So take that in mind when you're frying. Put that in with the onion and celery. And then we'll do the same with a green pepper. Now we got our carrots cut up. And notice how my carrots and celery, when I cut these, I did them at a 45-degree angle. And that gives it that oriental look to it that you see when you go out to eat, you know, when you get stir fries. This is something fun to do at home. You can do it just as well. Now I'm also going to throw in some water chestnuts. These happen to be whole ones. And I want to cut these into 1/4 chunks. Because I don't want thin sliced ones. That I'll save for chow mein. This is a stir fry. And I want chunkier vegetables. I want something more to crunch into. And with thin sliced ones, you can put those in, just put them at the last minute. Very last minute. All you want to do is heat them up, you don't want to cook them. And I'm also going to take and do some pea pods. Make sure you rinse these off. And you want to pull the string out of them, I guess is what you call it. But it's this part of the pea. You don't want this in your pea pod because then you got this hard fiber, caught between your teeth, etc. And to get that off, you just pinch off, grab the end point of the snow pea pod, and you pull that right off the flat part of the pea pod, not the rounded, but the flat part. That's where that fibrous membrane is that you want to get rid of. And you can pull it from either direction, doesn't matter. Now we're going to take and add our oil to this. And you can use whatever oil you want to. But I like using just the regular vegetable oil. And we're going to put in a little bit of minced garlic. We gotta put the brake on this, Callie, so I don't kill myself. We'll zoom right up underneath here. And I had to put in like about 2 tablespoons of oil. And I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of garlic. And like I said, it's all on your personal preference. You can put in a lot of garlic if you love garlic. But you don't want to get overpowering with your seasonings, because that's just going to, if it's too garlicky, it ruins the flavor of everything else. If it's too hot and spicy, you're not going to taste the food. All you're going to taste is heat. So everything has to be in moderation, depending upon what you like. But you just don't want to overdo it. And we're going to let this soften up. Be careful, because you don't want to burn it. Oh, I just love the smell of garlic. And that's the rice. We'll put in our chicken. You smell that garlic, don't you, Callie? Oh, she's like this. No, just to go to town. Oh, yeah. This only takes a couple minutes. Oh boy, and being unemployed now, oh my Lord, talk about being hard. Luckily I had enough saved up to pay for rent for the next few months, but that's it. Going through the red tape though to try to get unemployment, I can't get that because I have to be actively searching for employment in order to get unemployment. Makes sense, don't it? I know what they mean. But I can't get that because my doctor stated that I can't work. I can't put pressure on that foot for 3 months. I have to keep it in the cast. Well, I'm going to get a checkup in 3 weeks, and I might get a boot cast. Then he might change his opinion depending upon the healing on my foot, and then maybe I can go back to work, hopefully. I know my last job, they just loved my work. They loved my cooking. I was working at a woman's halfway house in South Minneapolis. And the girls absolutely loved my desserts and all my cookies and everything. Oh, they loved me there. And I know they'd love to have me come back, and I'd love to go back there. It was a fun job. But trying to get unemployment and assistance and going through all this red tape, oh my Lord. I thought I was doing everything right, and it's like my former employer was supposed to fill out these forms and fax them to the county. Well, they did, but they didn't fill out the forms. They just sent back empty forms. So of course it cut off my deadline for medical assistance, and I got to reapply for. Oh, it is just so hard, and I can't get food stamps. I can't get cash. I can't get nothing until they can figure out when my employment was at my last job and how much I was making there. And it was part-time. It was good pay, but they didn't have insurance either, not for us part-time people. So they got to go through all this red tape, and it's just taking forever and ever and ever trying to figure out what to do. Like I said, luckily I got enough for rent. That's about it. Callie and I our pantries are stocked, knock on wood. I got that deep freezer last year, and I always, whenever I go out to buy food, I always buy the family packs, divide up, stick in freezer bags, and put away in the freezer. Well, thank God it did that. Otherwise, I'd be starving. All right. Enough to cry me a river. But it's just that, when you become disabled, it's really different. Because you don't notice it until you become one. And people are not nice to you. Out there in public, they are not nice. Some people, though, are extremely nice. And I bow to all of you who are nice to the handicapped. But there are a lot of people out there that don't want you to hold the door, they'll slam it in your face, they want you to say, do it yourself. And it's like, I just now became handicapped. It's hard for me to get around. I don't know how to do things correctly yet. When I do, then I'll say, fine, I can get it myself. But until then, a little, politeness goes a long ways, and not being so rude. Oh, I was at the Rainbow, and there was these two women talking up a storm, just gossiping away, and I'm in the electric cart trying to get around them, and I couldn't get around them, and I said, excuse me, I don't know how many times. And then I had to go around a different aisle, to get a long way around to get through. I finally did, because my cart was getting low on electricity. I'm cutting along the aisle, jerking, and I'm like, oh God, this is not my day, this is not my life, I can't take this. So I get a new cart, and the produce man took all my groceries, got me a new cart, put them into the new cart, helped me along and everything else. It just, like I said, so sweet. And some people are that way. And these two ladies, 15 minutes later, are still talking in that same spot in the aisle as I'm coming back, and still wouldn't move. And I'm honking the horn and the whole bit. I was like, oh, good Lord. Oh, excuse me, they said finally. We didn't see you. Oh, good God, I said, obviously you did it, and your conversation was more important than somebody who's handicapped who just wants to come through. Oh, my Lord, I just couldn't believe how rude they were. But all you can do is laugh about it. You can't get too upset over it and let it kill your day, you know what I mean? But I just find that you just go from one extreme to the other, one end of the spectrum to the other. Extremely nice to extremely rude. It's just unreal. So now the chicken was done, and I threw in all my vegetables. Now these are the hard vegetables, the peppers, the onions, the carrots. So these are going to take about 3 minutes or so to stir fry until they're going to be crisp still. We don't want them to get limp. When you're looking at your onion, if you can see them start to get a little limp, you want to finish up real quickly. Because the onions are going to be the first to soften up. And we want to keep these nice and crisp. That's the secret of a stir fry, is to have everything crisp. We don't have to have them raw, but we want to keep them crisp. We just don't want them to overcook. We just basically want them to heat through. Oh, Pally, that's good looking, so pretty. Now, we can throw in our water chestnuts. Remember, we just want to heat things up. And I'm going to throw in my pea pods. Those are the last to go into the pea pods, because they just go boom. As soon as they get bright green, you're done. And I'm going to put in a little bit of this chili paste. Now this is called ground chili with fried garlic. There's many different kinds of chili paste. It's all basically the same. It is really, really, really hot. I mean really hot. You just want a little titch if you're going to use it. Just like about a half a teaspoon, even a quarter teaspoon. All on your preference again, if you like really hot food. But that stuff is very, very, very hot and spicy. So if you put in a big old, heaping teaspoon, it's going to be too hot and you're not going to be able to enjoy the flavors of your stir fry. But this is going to make it more of a Kung Pao, a hot Szechuan style type of stir fry. And I like hot and spicy. Just not just too hot, overly hot. Oh, keep that. Samples. That's looking just perfect. Oh, let me taste. Oyster sauce. Put on as little or as much as you want. It all depends, again, how much vegetables you got, how much moisture you want to put in there. For what this pan is, and for what I got, I'm doing about a 1/4 cup of sauce. You can always add more if you want to. Oh, this is looking so pretty. Almost like Leon Chin's there, Callie. Look at that. Oh, pretty. Yeah, Miss Leon Chin. She don't got nothing on Uncle Roy. No. This is Uncle Roy Oriental. Yeah, we'll do the Oriental cooking. Yeah, Uncle Oriental cooking. Oh, that's looking good. And you look at that moisture on the bottom, at that glaze, that sauce. It's not watery. It's nice and thick. Oh, this is just perfect, Callie. There you go. Oh, yum, yum. Oh, I forgot a little secret. A little touch of ginger powder. You can take and use fresh ginger root, and put that in at the beginning when you get your oil and the garlic going. Oh. Yeah, Kelly, we got lots of things going on here. And when I sit down to eat it, I'll bet you'll be right at the table. Yeah, she will too. She sits out in the living room on the couch when I'm cooking in here sometimes. We don't care. As soon as I slide the chair on the floor up to the table and she hears that noise, she comes racing in because she knows there's food at the table. Don't you? Okay, let's get a plate, Callie. Okay. Samples. Oh, what's that? A pea pod. In the garbage. Go in the garbage. Okay, this is our saffron rice. Ooh. Oh, is that ever pretty, Callie? Look at that bright yellow. And then this is our chicken stir fry in oyster sauce with fresh vegetables and pea pods. Don't that look good, Callie? The viewers can see that. Ooh, we better get a close-up of that one, Callie. Look out. Pardon me. And there's our stir-fried chicken. Look at all the wonderful fresh veggies. You can just tell how crunchy they are. And steaming hot with the yellow saffron rice. Boy, is that ever delicious, Callie, isn't it? Mmm. Hi. Boy, Cat, wasn't that ever good stir-fry with the chicken? Mmm. Now we're going to take an answer to mail. And if you have any questions for Callie or myself, you can write us to the Northwoods Cooking Show at yahoo.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. You can write us on anything, and if we answer your question on the mail, Callie gets a tweet. So send in those cards and letters. Come here, Callie. Who let the dog out? Who let the dog out? Come here, Callie. You get a tweet. You get a tweet. Come here. Come here. Come here. Is that pretty? Oh, yeah, there you go. Dear Uncle Roy, Miss Callie, my dahlias don't seem to be quite as big as they used to be last year. What am I doing wrong? Signed, Sarah of Maple Grove, Minnesota. Well, Sarah, there's quite a few things that could happen. This year was unusually warm, of course, so you want to make sure that you constantly water your plants. Another thing is to make sure you fertilize well, too. Now that the flowers are starting to bud on your dahlias, you want to use a phosphate fertilizer, which the middle number of the 3 is the higher one. The first one is for green, that's your nitrogen. The second one is your phosphate, that's for the bloom itself. So once your flowers start to bloom, you can use a higher phosphate. Miracle-Gro has a bloom booster, it's called. And that works great, and it'll make your flowers much bigger and brighter. And it gives a lot of food to your bulbs, because you want to fill those bulbs up with nutrients, because your plants are taking them all out, and you got to put back in what your plants are taking out. So that bloom booster works great on that. Another thing too is as your plants are growing, you want to make sure to pinch the top. At the very beginning, when they're about 3 to 6 inches tall, pinch the top off and they'll start to get bushier. Then when they get to be about 4 or 5 feet tall, pinch the top again. And that makes the bush come out thicker and fuller, and your energy goes back down into the plant and comes out into your blooms to make them larger and bigger. If you don't pinch them, your plant is going to get tall and stringly, and it's going to get all wiry and real thin and unhealthy looking. So you want to make sure you pinch the tops of those dahlias so that the growth comes out to the sides now. Hope that answers your questions. I know I got big dinner plate dahlias out at one of the gardens. The one where I broke my foot at. And they got just big, gorgeous ones. Oh, they're so beautiful. I always like watching them bloom at this time of the year. And now they're starting to bloom because it's fair time. It's the fall's coming up. The cannas are going to be in bloom, so the gardens are going to look just gorgeous here in the next week or two. I know my cannas here at the house are starting to bloom too. So thank you, Sarah, for your question. And anybody else, you want to ask us questions, feel free to contact us at the Northwoods Cooking Show at yahoo.com. And Callie and I would love to answer your questions. And we need more fan mail. The more fan mail we get, the more tweets Callie gets. So she needs to get some mails. Yeah. So for Miss Callie and myself, we want to say healthy eating, be safe, and spread the sunshine. Bye-bye. Quench, quench, quench.